Due to popular demand, we have decided to make this a repeat episode. It was back in episode 10. So here we go. Once again, episode 99, Provident Living with Bishop Dave on Empower Your Pattern. Did you know that there are success principles to help you receive more? To help you receive a better and extraordinary life right now? Well, I'm Jimmy Hendrick. I am a motivational speaker, a success, confidence, and thrive coach, and I'm here to give you these success patterns. Let's go. Okay, guys, I'm here riding with Bishop Dave. We're going to be talking about Provident Living, which I see it as in a way as the King's Law. Bishop Dave, how can we better show our families a path of self-reliance?
Well, I think by living self-reliance. And what does that look like? It looks like living below our living below our means and trying our best to prepare for future. It is learning to wait sometimes and showing the patience of that. Showing our families being a part of this is really important, I think, to show our kids, you know what, that's great that you want that bike. It's $150. You've got $25. We're going to have to wait and save up for it. And just the excitement and the patience and the difficulty, all the emotions wrapped up in that helps our children, and that's something that we can give. I've helped too many people who didn't know how to make a budget, or didn't know, they just spend what they have in the bank instead of maybe figuring out and budgeting things. So it's really important to learn those skills and to teach them to our families.
Robert Kiyosaki, in his book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, mentions the Robin Hood fallacy, the robbing the rich to take to give to the poor, and the entitlement mentality. Bishop Dave, what do you say about the entitlement mentality our reactive culture has gotten into?
Well, it's something we have to be careful of. We have to realize and see that I guess a lot of times when I'm frustrated with something, some policy or something, a lot of times I have to put the finger back at me and just, well, what am I going to do about it? Well, if I don't have enough money to eat, I have to figure out a way to do that. And a lot of times that means negotiation, talking to people, instead of just spending money and paying for fees, maybe talking down those fees. I mean, that's just one idea, but there's so many different ways that we can negotiate, talk through, and figure out how to live within our means. Now, I'm sorry, I went a little off topic there, but I think we have done not the best job with so much new technology. We've had a difficult time emotionally and in a lot of different ways to catch up to the technology. And as such, a lot of our children and grandchildren are suffering. They have not been taught, or they don't know how to necessarily digest some of the principles that we've always lived by, like self-reliance. And so entitlement is definitely something that there's the haves and the have-nots, and helping others to understand that we work hard and we try our best and we give it to the Lord is an important principle of hard work and of helping others.
I think about my friend Jim Bob. It's a pseudonym for his name, but one thing that he said that burned into me after the 2000 election was the concept of, it's an acronym called FIO, Fix It Ourselves. And if I think of someone that is definitely not reactive and into the FIO, I'm thinking about some people like Bishop Dave and Chris Gilbo. So many others out there. Bishop Dave, what insights do you have about Provident living working in the plan of salvation?
I think they go hand in hand. The plan of salvation is simple and it's beautiful. It teaches us of the great plan of the Creator and teaches us of how to get back to Him and teaches us of a Savior. And Provident living is simple. It coincides with the plan of salvation, and it revolves around the Savior and His love for us. There's different parts to it, but as we help others, as we pay our tithing, as we try our best, He can help us in return. It has been promised too, as we pay our tithing, that blessings will be given to us. And so I've seen that. I've seen that in my life and other people's lives. So the plan of salvation, provident living, those two work together for our betterment and for our exaltation, our happiness in the end.
I have to say this. One thing that I stand on is self-reliance is so important. When I was getting ready to graduate from high school, my daddy took me aside and said, look, in society I live in, boy, there's no free lunch. Don't expect to be coming to us with your hand out all the time. You're going to have to make it in the real world. Now, he honestly thought that I would be staying home forever. He honestly thought I'd be staying home forever. And I'm going to say this kind of in the clean language. James, we thought that he was going to stay with us forever. And I'll be blank if he ain't the first one to leave. And so, Bishop Dave, we want to thank you for being a part of this interview.
You're welcome. I'm glad to talk to you anytime, Jimmy.
I have to say that provident living is very important. It's very key. And I wanted to go beyond just what Bishop Dave said. And I think living below your means is good. But I also think really teaching kids about money, and I guess it has a lot to do with my upbringing. My daddy, say we had a certain amount of money, back when we were young, he'd meet us halfway or whatever to buy whether it is. You could say that Daddy, in some ways, spoiled us. Now, I think in some ways he tried to spoil me, but I could see the life he lived. He had oil in his veins, being raised in a rough and tumble background. You couldn't put the wool over his eyes when it came to technology, and that's that. I mean, to self-reliance, and that's that. He got that from my grandpa Steve Olin, and that's just what it is. Now, in the eyes of the world, he was my stepfather, but in my eyes, he was my daddy. Hope you've enjoyed listening to Empower Your Pattern. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and become a part of the citizenry of Pattern Realm. This is Jimi Hendrix saying until next time, do what others don't so you can be what others want. Do what others don't so you can have what others can't. Choose, act, and pursue happiness. And don't you just sit there and take it. Build your dreams so you can take it. And by all means, please have a blessed day. God bless you.